Let me ask you something most people never say out loud. Have you ever been standing in public or sitting in a room by yourself and suddenly felt sweat pooling in places no one talks about? Your groin, your pelvic region, your lower abdomen, your inner thighs. And then comes the worst part, the cold, wet feeling soaking through your clothes, followed by chills as it starts to dry. Your body feels exposed. You feel embarrassed, panicked, and trapped inside yourself. If that's you, I need you to hear this immediately. You are not broken, and this has a name. About 2 to 5% of people experience a condition called focal hyperhidrosis. And a much smaller subset of those people experience it specifically in the groin, pelvic region, lower abdomen, and inner thighs. That's millions of people worldwide, but almost no one talks about this version of it. Because this isn't sweaty palms. This isn't underarms. This is the kind of sweating that makes you avoid light-colored clothes. That makes you plan exits. That makes you sit perfectly still, afraid someone might notice. And it doesn't always happen when you're hot. It happens when you're uncertain, when you're trying to fit in, when you're being evaluated, when you're in a social environment and your body decides you're not safe, even if your mind thinks you are. What you're experiencing isn't a confidence issue. It isn't poor hygiene, and it isn't just anxiety. It's your autonomic nervous system misfiring in moments of perceived social threat. And once you understand what's happening in your brain and body, something shifts because shame thrives in mystery, but understanding gives you back control. So if you've ever sat through a meeting feeling damp, cold, and hyper aware of your body, if you've ever wondered, why does this only happen to me when I'm uncomfortable or trying to be liked? Stay with me, because I'm going to explain exactly what's happening in your brain, why it shows up in these specific areas of the body, and what you can actually do before, during, and after these moments to regain control. Before we dive in, I've got to ask for a free favor. We are building a community here dedicated to emotional intelligence and healing. If this sounds like your tribe, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button right now. If you have picked up a tip you can apply to your life by the end of this video, please give it a like. It's the only way to alert YouTube to share this with more people like you. Your support helps this message of self-respect reach the people who need it most. Thank you. And now, where were we? Right before that heart-pounding moment in the cafe, something happened in my brain. Deep inside, an almond-shaped set of cells called the amygdala lit up like a Christmas tree. The amygdala is your brain's danger detector, sometimes called the fear center. Its job is to scan everything in your environment for threats. In ancient times, it helped our ancestors spot snakes or predators quickly. Today, it still can't tell the difference between a real physical threat and, say, standing in front of a few friendly people. If it senses danger, it signals your body to take action. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the thoughtful, logical part of your brain up front, is trying to tell you it's okay, these people are friendly. But in a social anxiety moment, the amygdala hijacks control. It's like your emotional brain screams, danger, danger, at the top of its lungs, and the rational brain can't get a word in edgewise. Scientists even call this the amygdala hijack. The result? Instant fight or flight. Your body floods with stress chemicals. Your heart races as adrenaline, also called epinephrine, surges through your veins. You get a jolt of cortisol, the stress hormone, keeping you alert, but also making you feel on edge. Blood is sent to your muscles and away from things like digestion. That's why your stomach can churn or go numb and your speech might slur. Sweat glands open up. That's why your palms get clammy or you may flush red. Your lungs open up for more oxygen, but it can leave you feeling short of breath or dizzy. Even your pupils dilate so you can see better in case you need to run. Your body is literally gearing up for a fight or flight. All of this in seconds, and it feels terrifying. You might notice your forehead sweating or your legs trembling. Maybe your voice cracks, or you suddenly feel like you have butterflies in your stomach. That blank mind, it's because your brain is on autopilot, prioritizing speed over smarts. Any logical thought, like, I'm safe here, gets drowned out. Over time, your hippocampus, the memory part of your brain, dutifully records these moments, linking even harmless social cues, like someone frowning at you, with danger. So next time, those same situations trigger this whole alarm system faster. It becomes a cycle. Your brain learns stranger's threat and hits the panic button preemptively. Now, your body does have a brake for this system. That's the parasympathetic nervous system. Think rest and digest. A deep, slow breath can trigger this brake, activating the vagus nerve to calm your heart and digestion. But when anxiety hits, that sympathetic fight-flight gas pedal is stuck. Learning to breathe deeply, to mentally remind yourself the threat isn't real, and slowly re-engage that brake are ways to bring your brain out of hijack mode. It's not just adrenaline and cortisol. Your brain is a cocktail of chemicals during anxiety. For example, dopamine might make you focus intensely on reading every face, as if you're scanning for judgment. Glutamate and norepinephrine levels rise, making neurons fire rapidly. On the flip side, you might have less GABA or serotonin to dampen the alarms. GABA is like your brain's natural calming agent, and serotonin helps regulate mood. In some people, these neurotransmitter systems are unbalanced, making anxiety feel stronger. Your body is even working overtime to break down all those chemicals. Enzymes in your brain chew up the excess adrenaline and such after the fact. For instance, there's an enzyme called fatty acid amide hydrolase, FAAH, that breaks down endocannabinoids, your brain's own chill molecules. If FAH is extra active, you'll have less of that calming chemical around, so anxiety can stick around. In short, it's a complicated chemical show, but it all boils down to one thing. Your body is shouting, "We've got an emergency," even when there's none. Practical tools, what to do before and during anxiety. Here's the good news. You can train your brain and body to handle these moments better. Think of it like learning self-defense against your own stress response. Preparation before the event, visualize success. Before a stressful situation, meeting new people, a class presentation, etc., spend a few minutes imagining it going well. Picture yourself smiling, speaking calmly, and everyone reacting positively. This mental rehearsal can prime your brain with a safe scenario, not just the scary one. Remind yourself, I've done this before and survived, I can do it again. Light stretching or even shaking out your limbs right before can release some nervous energy too. Grounding and breathing. When anxiety hits, anchor yourself to reality. Look around and silently name 5 things you see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you hear, etc. This pulls you out of the fear spiral. And breathe, truly, it's that powerful. Slow, deep belly breaths, count in for 4 seconds, hold 4, out 6, flood your body with calm. One exercise is 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale for 4, hold 7, exhale for 8. This activates your parasympathetic system to counter the adrenaline rush. Physical release. Since adrenaline primes your muscles, do something physical to use it up. Quickly clench and release your fists. Gently shake out your arms or tense, then relax your shoulders. Go for a brisk walk if you can, even 30 seconds. This signals to your brain that the threat has passed and it's okay to stand down. Cognitive reframe what your rational mind can do. Talk back to your fear internally. When negative thoughts pop up, I'm embarrassing myself, they all hate me, challenge them as if you were a kind friend. Ask yourself, really, what evidence do I have? Would someone actually care that much? Often we blow things out of proportion. Remember, most people are too busy worrying about themselves to judge you as harshly as you think. Label the feeling. This is my anxiety talking, not reality. Over time, these reframes help retrain your brain to see social situations as less dangerous. Self-soothing tools. Keep a small object in your pocket, like a smooth stone or textured fabric, and squeeze or touch it when you panic. The simple sensory focus can ground you. Carry some water or tea with you. Taking a sip can be a moment to pause and breathe. Some people find it helpful to have a cue ready, like a subtle hand gesture, maybe touching your wristwatch, that reminds you to slow down. In short, do anything that communicates safety. Slow your breath, ease your body tension, and tell your amygdala that you are in no real danger. It won't work instantly every time. Your body reflex is strong, but with practice, these tools become like a panic override switch. Beyond self-help tricks, remember you're not alone and there are professional strategies. Therapy is incredibly effective. The gold standard is cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Basically, a trained therapist helps you slowly face your fears while rewiring your thoughts about them. You might practice giving a talk to a small, safe group or challenge the idea that others are judging you. Over time, those scenarios become less scary. Other approaches like mindfulness and acceptance therapies teach you to observe the fear without being controlled by it. In a supportive group therapy setting, you even get feedback showing that people don't actually judge you as much as your anxiety thinks they do. Doctors can also offer medication. Commonly, SSRIs or SNRIs, types of antidepressants like sertraline Zoloft, escitalopram, Lexapro, or venlafaxine, Effexor, can gently raise those brain chemicals, serotonin or norepinephrine, over weeks to reduce anxiety. They don't work instantly, but can make a big difference in baseline anxiety. For immediate short-term relief, they can take the edge off panic quickly, but they are powerful and can cause dependency. So a doctor usually prescribes them only briefly. If your worry is mostly about physical symptoms, like racing heart or shakes before a speech, a beta blocker like propranolol can be a game changer. It literally blocks adrenaline's effects, so your hands steady and heart slows. It's often used by performers, and even someone with social anxiety can take one pill an hour before a big social event. Of course, medical advice should come from your health professional, but know that options exist. Lifestyle changes, good sleep, regular exercise, moderate caffeine, and even deep pressure, a weighted blanket or firm hug from a pet, all help tune down the anxiety circuitry over time too. Most importantly, there is hope and improvement. People with social anxiety can and do change. Your brain has plasticity. You can teach it new patterns. Every time you survive a scary moment without awful consequences, you gather proof that I am okay. Celebrate even the small wins. Answered one question in a meeting, survived that dinner party, good job. Be patient and kind to yourself. Anxiety isn't your fault, it's just biology. If you found this helpful, remember you don't have to stay trapped in fear. We share more tips and stories like this at Off the Algorithm. Hit that subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss future videos. And if you want to get more guidance straight to your inbox and get off the algorithm's roller coaster, sign up for our email list in the description below. You've taken the first step by watching. Keep going, you've got this.